Hey, brothers and sisters in Christ and people of YouTube. I'm well blessed at the moment, eh? Life's really good. It's like when you hearken onto God's word and you follow Him diligently, He gives you like so many blessings, and my life's really just taken off at the moment. Like yesterday was so busy with the races, and I met so many interesting characters, and I must have gone there like 6 times to pick up people, and some of them were so interesting, but then again there was a couple I had to say, mate, is she going to be right to come home? Like, I had one lady that just kept falling over, and I'm literally talking, she's just standing there and then she just passed out, and I'm like, mate, you don't want to put her in the taxi if she's going to be vomiting. But yeah, managed to get them home safely, which is good. Didn't manage to do a walk and a rant this morning. I was going to do it out in the cold weather, but just got busy this morning, eh? Like I had some other stuff to take care of that was outside of my normal routine. So it's like, wow, like I want to be obedient to God and keep releasing messages out every day, and try and be fairly consistent with it. Like it's really hard to basically like release messages all the time. Like it can be tiring, like especially when you've done a 12 or 14 hour shift and you're like, the flesh is like, I just want to be fed and then I want to go to bed, you know. But you just have to keep persisting for God, have to keep turning up every day. And like I'm working every day. Like it's been about 2 months and I haven't had a day off. And I was just sitting there thinking the other day, what happens when you never have a day off? Like when you just can't have one? What happens to you? And I figured, well, I guess you just level up. I guess you just get stronger and you just get better at it. And you learn to deal with the stress, and you just end up prioritizing better. Like you find better ways of doing things so it's quicker, so that you can still get everything done in your day. Because it's like, I don't know if you've seen that movie Multiplicity with what's his name, Michael Keaton. It's from, I think, the 90s, and Michael Keaton was around a lot in those days after Batman. Like he became pretty much a household name, and he did this movie where I think he was a scientist in it. I'm not sure if he was a scientist or he was going to a scientist, but basically the idea was he experimented with cloning, and this was in the 90s. And basically he cloned himself, and the clone he made was like, he basically was like a more macho version of him. Like he was absolutely the same but more macho and a bit of a ladies' man. So then they would get into arguments about the fact that the clone was sleeping with his wife, and the clone knew that it was wrong because he knew it was the other one's wife, but he just did it anyway. He was like, I don't care, it's my wife too. And then the clone thought, I need my own clone, I'm too busy. So they cloned another one, and this one I think was a bit more effeminate, like a little bit almost like not gay but effeminate, and talked really softly. And then even that one decided, I'm too busy, I need another clone. And then the next time they cloned, it was like a real stupid clone. Like it still kind of worked, but it just didn't it didn't say anything, and just it was weird. And life kind of reminds me of that at the moment. It's like, if I could just have a second one of me, like just to get everything done in the day. But then I figure, hey, if God didn't want me to work this hard, he wouldn't be making me do it. And I guess he just wants to push me harder and see how far I can go. And like, I don't have a whole army of gang stalkers to help me. I don't have a whole network behind me to help me. But slowly God is bringing people into my life that are a real blessing, people that actually are loyal to me and only me. And so I've got them, but at the same time I've always been a lone wolf, so I've always just worked hard and always had to do things myself. Like I've used to work at the markets, and I was so busy in my job because you're supposed to have crews of 5 to make up all the banana pallets, and it would just be a crew of 1. It'd just be me, because people didn't want to work with me because I want to work hard, and they just want to sit around talking and just wasting time. And we didn't get paid overtime, so it was better for us to just finish our work and go home. But these guys just didn't want to do that, and they'd sit around and muck around for like 12 hours in the place, and it's like, we could have got out of here after 6 hours, like, because we're on salary as well. But yeah, so I'd always just work hard and figure out how to do things by myself. Even it got to a stage at the markets where I was lifting 120 pallets a day over my head every day. And you couldn't just kind of go, oh, I've got sore muscles, I can't lift anymore. You had to do it every day. Like, well, when I say every day, it was 6 days a week, so we still got 1 day off. But yeah, most of the time that last day was just catching up on sleep, because you'd have like a 2-hour sleep, and then you'd maybe have a 2 or 3 hour nap in the afternoon if you could get to sleep. But it's very hard to sleep in the day. So and there was a few of us there that worked hard, but were in different departments that also did that, younger fellas. But they were never on my crew, and they were always like, there's no way I'd be on that crew, because I know how lazy the rest of the guys are. So yeah, and that's nothing against them. This is just an example of how my life's been. Like, I've always had this situation where I've gone to places and it's just been me. And I've had workplaces where all the bosses loved me, and like, one boss loved me so much that he would get on the forklift and help me out at work, because he's like, nobody else will help him, so I'm going to go help Jamie. And he never got on the forklift. It wasn't his job, and he was really good at it too, but he was just like, no, I'm a manager now, I just don't get my hands dirty like that. But he would do it for me, and that said a lot to me, and the workforce there was about 30 to 60 workers. It was a huge workforce, but nobody would help you. And nowadays things are getting worse like that. Yeah, like that's a funny thing. Like, narcissists come into your life and they tell people all this BS about you, like you're no good, you're lazy, and all this stuff. And I've always worked hard my whole life. The only time I haven't worked is when I come into this backwater town and the narcissist got me fired from jobs, like, where I've been in a position where I just haven't been able to find another job in time. And a lot of the time the narcissist would blame me for that too, and it's like, well, how do you expect me to look for jobs when I've got to look after your kid when I get home from work, and I've got to like sort out all his problems, because the narcissist would never help her child out with anything. So it was always your problem. And half the time, like, I'd get home and she'd be like, oh, I want to do the visa for my parents. And I was like, okay. She's like, so I need you to do it, because I'm not a good English speaker. And it's like, well, isn't that funny? You're a good English speaker when it came to doing your Cert 3 in your aged care, but all of a sudden you're not a good English speaker when you have to do something that doesn't benefit you. And the thing is, I'd start doing these things and I could accomplish a lot quickly, but then I'm like, oh, look, I don't have all your parents' details, so how am I supposed to put this stuff in? They're Vietnamese. And then she'd get annoyed and wouldn't reply to me for ages, and then I'd run out of time because it's like, well, um, like, it doesn't take long to send a text message or get some details across, but the narcissist is really lazy and would never want to do it. So it would just sit there for ages, and then she would triangulate me with her ex and say, "Oh, last time I got my parents out, my other husband, he did all the paperwork for him and all this," and they just try to make you feel awful, like you're just not doing enough for them. And like literally, if you got any time for yourself, you were lucky. And so when the narcissist got me fired from a job, I'd just enjoy the break. I'd be like, well, I'm just going to chill at home. If I do something, I do it. If I don't care, because there was plenty of money in the accounts anyway. And this would just piss them off. They'd just like, and they'd go bad mouthing you to all these different people. And it's like, well, can you blame someone for wanting to take some time off when every day you're doing so much for this person and your so-called family that would be bad mouthing you every day to people, and then they were still relying on you for everything? Like, if we went shopping, I would grab like 10 bags out and bring them in all at once, whereas it'd take them ages, it'd take them 3 or 4 trips to do it. I'd be driving the car for the narcissist all the time, like, because they just want to sit there on their phone talking to other supply while they're going from A to B. And they know because you're driving, like, they can get away with talking to other supply because you can't exactly look over and see what they're up to while you're driving. You know, it's a distraction. So they'd do this all the time. And then, like, if the narcissist was particularly cruel with me, I'd just say, look, you can drive, it's your car. And then they'd get all prideful and go, yeah, fine, I'll drive. But you could tell how pissed off they were, because then they can't talk to their supply. Like, they just have to, like, be bored. And, like, if you're going into town, it was like a 15-20 minute drive sometimes. So that's 20 minutes where the narcissist only has the guilt in their head to listen to. So they'd always want you to put music on in the background too, because it was like, well, otherwise they might have a collapse, because all the guilt and shame will start rushing back about all the people they've wronged, because they can never have silence, the narcissist. They always have to have noise and chaos in their life. And that's the funny thing, like, since this person's left my life, like, they've made such a big thing about I couldn't live without them. And every time they'd have this argument with me, I'd say, I can live without you. I said, I've done it many times. And I said, and I was more productive. Like, I had so much more time, and I can cook, I can clean, I could do all that stuff myself. Like, I don't need you. And I'd always tell them this. And they would just piss them off, and like, it'd be a huge argument. But it's one thing I'd never take, for someone to tell me that I need them. Like, it just didn't compute to me. But yeah. And yeah, since this person has left my life, like, I've had so much energy. Like, working 7 days, I would have found that quite hard, having the narcissist in my life. But now it's just like, I've got so much energy, I can just pull it off. And I find that I'm doing a lot more things, and I'm dreaming dreams. Like, I'm sitting there thinking about stuff I actually want to do with my life, and like actually setting goals to move forward. And this is the thing that really makes a narcissist angry. When they see you happy and moving forward, this makes them rage out. Like, they literally cannot handle it. And it's because they've been stagnant their whole life. They've never changed. Like, this person has spent the last, I'd say the last 5 or 6 years in the same dead-end job. the same circle of idiots. Like they never can evolve. They can never do better for themselves. And then they see you after a couple of months leveling up and just surpassing them, and you're doing it easily, and they just hate it. They're just like, it makes them so angry. And the narcissist is so angry at me at the moment that they can't even be around me. Like, they literally just rage out just looking at me. And I know this because it even happened today. And I just started laughing. I was like, what's wrong with this person? Like, when you have a breakup, you either have closure or you don't. But one thing you do is build a bridge and get over it. You realise, hey, this person is not for me, and you move on with your life. And that's what I've done. I've made the narcissist accountable, which has made them even more angry because they don't like to be accountable for anything. But I've made them accountable for their decisions and the fact that they've done so many bad things to me in my life, and then they left me. They were just like, oh, I can do better than you. So I was just like, well, go on then, go do it. And that's made this person so angry, because it's like, how dare you make it so that I can't just keep coming back into your life like a revolving door and breezing through like a tornado and destroying everything you're trying to build. How dare you? This is their attitude. Today is almost like a warning of the impending flood that's coming when Jesus comes back, like the end. Like, it's literally, it's been a miserable day all day, like, and this is really unusual in Geraldton. Yeah, it's just a bit ridiculous today. It's just been so cold. Like, sometimes I go to the servos, like, to just get a coffee and that, and I had to put like a rain jacket on just to walk across the street, because it's right there across the road. And it's just black. Like, it's literally just so overcast today. Yeah, but it's a nice change. Like, it's nice to have cool weather, but yeah. So basically, it's just, my life's just turned into one giant blessing since the narcissist left. And I did mention in a previous video that I basically, when I was at church, I felt so connected to God, just worshipping with him. Like, he just zapped me with some of his mojo. It was just like bam, and I just felt so full of love and joy and peace. And I'd had next to no sleep because I'd gotten home at like 4:30 in the morning. I couldn't put myself straight to bed, so it's like nearly 5. You're getting up at 7:30. It was ridiculous. But, and I'm in there, and the pastor knows, like, I'm quite intimate with the pastor. I get along really well with him, and so we're almost like, he's almost like a friend of mine now, and like a good friend, not just an average friend, a good friend. And he's a lovely fella, and yeah, it was just, he's like, mate, don't fall asleep today. It's like, oh, I'll try not to. And then shortly after, like, my boss was calling me, and I'm like, mate, I'd love to, but I'm gonna at least have a nap before I go. Yeah, you gotta look after yourself. And yeah, it was basically, what I was trying to say was that a narcissist is such a jealous and envious person. All they want to do is destroy your life for no reason, and they're gang stalkers and they're flying monkeys. They they want to do the same thing. They've just predetermined that you're a jerk and they don't like you. And these people that I worked with that caused me so much grief at work, it's like, you haven't even taken the time to get to know me. Like, you've just decided I'm a certain way, and it's like, why did you hire me in the first place if you were just going to behave in this manner? Because they would have been set up by the narcissist before I even started working there. And it's almost like they just get off on it, like they just want to run game on you, like, oh, let's see how much mischief we can cause this person before he rages out, and then we can film him raged out, and then we'll have an excuse to like take it further, and just setting traps for you. And it's like, they don't even know what sort of person you are. They don't know the fact that you would be a best friend to them, you'd be the most loyal person in their life, and yet they just reject you. And these people are such idiots, because the people they have in their life are actually stabbing in the back daily, and they've formed these groups of people that literally they've got no loyalty whatsoever to each other. And so it's just, it's their own choice, obviously, and it's because they hate the light, they hate God, and they can see the reflection of God in you. Like, I'm not saying I'm a God, but I'm saying that God reflects off me, like his light is in me, and that's not by my power, that's by his power. And when Stephen was killed, when he was stoned to death, it said he had the face of an angel. Like, how would he have the face of an angel if he's human? Because that's how much you get in tune with God, that you actually like start to resemble God a little bit, and people start to see you differently. And that's the thing, these people came after me for the simple fact that I didn't want to be like them. I wanted to have a relationship with God over everything else in my life, and these people hated me because of it. And it's like, what happened to the days when people were accepting of the differences between people? Like, they'll accept anything else. Like, you could say I'm a witch, you could put devil horns, like graft them to your scalp, and people would, or your temples, and people would just accept that. So why do they not accept this? But that's how much like God is hated in the world. So you just need these people out of your life. Like, they literally they're no good for you. And like, anybody that is jealous and envious of you is no good for you. Like, because the people that are jealous and envious, they don't know how to love. That's what it's about. Like, they just hate you without a cause. And like, I've poured so much love into so many of these narcissists in my life, and not one of them has returned it. Like, everything to them was transactional. Like, if they ever did something nice to you, they will bring it up every chance they get. Like, they will just be like, look at all the things I did for you. And they didn't do much for you at all. They did the bare minimum. And then you did everything for them, and it was never enough. And that's because of their jealousy and envy. And it's the same with these people in the workplace that want to talk shit about you and want to make you look bad. And it's like, the one thing they forget is memory. They forget a person has memory, a person has worked other jobs in their life, and they know who they are. So how can you think that your schemes are going to work? Like, because all I had to do was look back on my life and go, I've never had this problem at work. I've always been respected everywhere I work. So this person was just full of lies and hatred for no reason. And the main thing is, when you're bald, fat and short, like, sometimes you're going to be jealous and envious of someone else. And I don't say that to be prideful. It's just some people choose to go that way. And I'd never done anything to upset these people, but they just they chose to come against me. And the thing is, God sees me as the apple of his eye, and it took me a long time to learn that, but basically I know it now. And it's the fact is, you come up against me and just see what happens. Like, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Like in movies, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but it's not going to be good what happens to you. So I'll just leave it up to God. And God bless all of you. Remember, Jesus loves you. I love you. And have a blessed day in Jesus' name.